Welcome to my dive into the hyper-rational saboteur and how, if you have this saboteur, it could be holding you back creatively. Now, I must confess, from my experience working with creatives and their saboteurs, the hyper-rational saboteur hasn't come up as often as some of the other saboteurs, but that is not to say that it has never come up. Because typically people with a strong hyper-rational saboteur tend to have a very analytical, logical, often scientific take on life. They love to evaluate and logically process information, and they're not qualities that you typically associate with creatives who tend to lean more into their feelings and instinct and often make decisions based on what their heart tells them rather than processing all the data and making a decision based on what their head tells them. But that said, I have worked with writers and actors and directors who do have this as a saboteur, and their strengths are they typically are very focused and disciplined and have a very deep curiosity. So when it comes to characterization or structure or plot, they want to get into the detail of all that. Nothing will not make sense in a script written by someone with a hyper-rational saboteur, because there is a reason, an explanation behind each and every decision. You know, they will have done all the research and then some more. And as with all the saboteurs, there is nothing wrong with any of those strengths. It is when those strengths are overused or used in every single instance of your life or creativity that they can become detrimental. And so, if you have a hyper-rational saboteur, the reason that you lean into that hyper-rational state is because decisions made from that logical and rational place make sense. And unconsciously, they keep you safe and mean you don't have to feel too much. But as we know, art and creativity doesn't always make sense. And it wants you to feel something, both in its creation and on the receiving end as an audience member. Also, safe art can come across as bland because there's been no room left for risk-taking or making a daring, messy leap of imagination which reflects the world, because the world is not a spreadsheet. The world is messy. So that's the hyper-rational. Logical, rational, can veer into being a bit distant or aloof, and dare I say it, can sometimes come across as a little bit intellectually superior to everyone else. So if you know that you are predominantly in your head rather than in your heart, or if you know you spend a lot of time overthinking and overanalyzing, or if you know you struggle to connect creatively with others because to you their suggestions just don't make logical sense, then there is a strong chance that you may have a hyper-rational saboteur, which can potentially limit your creativity. And it can limit genuine connection with your audience, other creatives, and with yourself. So what is the alternative? The alternative is to keep your underlying super strengths of discipline, analysis, curiosity, focus, but to blend those with feeling safe enough to let go. Now, if you've got a hyper-rational saboteur, I can just feel you shuddering as I say the words, let go. But it is about learning how to access a place where you feel safe enough to relax, trust, and take creative risks, because that is what can lead to creative work that connects with people on an even deeper level. And when you can tap into when a situation needs empathy or a heart-led response rather than just a logical response, then you will make even deeper connections with your audience and your work. So that's an introduction to the Hyper-Rational Saboteur. If you want to learn more about the other saboteurs and how they could be affecting you creatively, please follow me or check out my other saboteur videos.